birds flying high. You know how I feel. Sun in the sky. You know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by. You know how I feel. It's a new dawn. It's a new day. It's a new life. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on the tree, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life.
Hey, mute me.
Well, welcome everybody here to a Tuesday night. We're here with the GLR Racing Late Model Stock Series. Small crowd here tonight. I think there's 6 drivers out on track, but we're here at Hickory Motor Speedway. Little short track here, 3/4 of a mile. Not 3/4 of a mile. 0.3 does not equal 3/4, Jamie. Doesn't equal it.
No, it doesn't.
Now, how about 1/3 of a mile? A little short track here at Hickory Motor Speedway. Gonna be a lot of fun here tonight, even though we got such a small crowd. Jake Ellingson's out here this evening, the director of this series, recovering from a little procedure. Hopefully, hopefully his left nipple grows back, Jamie.
Yeah.
It's a weird accident, man. Super
Yeah.
weird. Don't know how you get your left nipple caught up in a wood chipper, but Godspeed and healthy recovery there, Jake. There's no videos of it or anything like that. I don't really know where I was going with that. It just sounded like something cool to say. You always want, like, if you have a procedure or you break a bone or something, you want it to be something epic, you know. So I'm just trying to build drama here, you know. Save Jake's nipple. Save Jake's nipple. Now I'm kind of stuck on this. I need to move on. But yeah, the late model stock series here brought to you by the Veterans for Life Foundation. Going to be a cool little race here tonight. Looking forward to it. Last week we didn't have any cautions, Jamie. Tonight we got a smaller crowd for sure. I don't know. Do you think we're going to see much of the same?
I don't think we're going to get through this without cautions. Yeah, there's only 7 guys, but this track definitely, for as short as it is, it can be a little bit tricky, and this setup actually is a little bit loose. I know I've talked about it quite a bit during the previous races that I can't get the car to break loose for anything, but here at Hickory, It's a little bit loose until you get these tires heated up. So uh, I suspect we're probably going to see some cautions tonight.
Yeah, I would agree with you. We've run a couple different cars on this track. I believe we ran the super late models here a few times. And yeah, it definitely gets loose off the corner here. And you got to have a little bit of, well, you got to have a lot of car control. A lot of these short tracks you really do, no matter what kind of car we put on it, whether it is this late model stock, a super late model, a truck, whatever the case may be. These short little tracks like this one, I mean, you really got to have a lot of throttle control coming off those corners. We saw some guys get loose in practice, so we'll see here as the race gets going how these guys are able to kind of navigate this here a little bit. But you know what, Jamie? I'm gonna cut you a break tonight. I'm gonna do the entire starting lineup all by myself.
All right. If you need a break, though, let me know.
All right, I got this. Starting on the pole position, Tanner Bethea in the number 11 with a lap time of 14.915. Congratulations to him. I believe he'll be going to the back, though, as he was last week's winner.
He has already been given that EOL.
Yeah, get to the back, Tanner. Starting to his outside is going to be Cameron Mason in that number 86. Didn't know he's from Indiana. That's a fellow Hoosier right there. Starting at third, Brandon Barron in the number 28. To his outside, good old Matt Knights. Well, Matt, please sell me a hat, Knights. I hope he doesn't finish on the podium tonight. Probably shouldn't say things like that. Every time, man. Every time. When are you going to sell me a hat?
We
Matt,
pretty much had a 50-50 chance, so
That's a solid point. Bet odds are 50-50. Starting fifth is Doug Ellingson in that number 58 from P&J Motorsports. Jamie Barkus is not racing here tonight. As much as me and Jamie would love to be in the car, fill out the field here a little bit. We're going to let these guys have fun. And then starting shotgun on the field, well, actually starting shotgun on the field is Tanner, EOL, but Bobby Germain in that number 13 car. That is the starting lineup tonight, brought to you by the Veterans for Life Foundation. And let's, I don't know. Oh, the 11's taking his EOL. I'm like, why is he slow on the apron there? I get it now. Oftentimes, if I just listen to the words coming out of my own mouth, I could probably figure out some things. 70 laps, though. That's caution laps don't count, as always here. These guys got unlimited tires, one fast repair. I think if they can get spread out a little bit, we can get some really good green flag racing in. But I definitely think a few of these cars in the wall are gonna meet quite violently here tonight.
yeah. First go of laps will definitely be tricky, so hopefully everybody will kind of be chill about it and let these tires heat, get some heat in them.
Green flag is out, and then looks like Brandon Barron in the number 28 shoots around on the outside. As we see some sparks flying back there throughout the field. Cameron Mason falls back into that second position. Look at Doug Ellingson fighting for third there.
Well, that'd definitely be an interview.
It would be.
If we get Doug Ellingson up there on the podium.
Oh, man. We're going to have all kinds of chants for the Ellingsons here tonight. Go.
You know, if we get Doug on there, we might actually get the whole story about how Jake lost his nipple in the wood chipper.
We just might. Maybe he'd even share some pictures with us. You never know. As we continue to log laps here tonight, working lap number 4070 here tonight. This broadcast is already off the rails, but with only 6 guys out here racing, you had to believe we were going to find some way to entertain yourselves. Brandon Barron continues to pace the field. Week 1 winner. He served his EOL last week. But he's got that number 28 car out front and looking really strong as he continues to pull away from the second place car. Ellingson's getting some heat from Tanner right now as Tanner's trying to work his way up through the field. And we'll watch Tanner kind of go low down into the corner. Tanner should clear him coming off, and he does. So move Tanner Bethea up to the third position. Even though Doug fights back on that outside there. Ooh, Matt Knight's getting a little loose coming out of the corner there. put the number 58 car back in the 4th position. Matt Knight's now back in 5th, and then Bobby Germain still running back there at the back of the pack in 6th position. We'll head back up front here and check in on our leader, as he has built a 1.3 second lead as we're working lap number 9 of 70 here tonight.
Yeah, I really didn't see. Did not expect to see Brandon Barron just get out and take that big lead like that as quickly as he has. You know, Cameron Mason was sitting second on the speed chart during practice. You know, right there, he was right there with Tanner. So I really expected him being on the front row to take that as an opportunity to get himself clear and get out front of this thing. But Brandon Barron made that outside work, and he got out front. And
looked like Bobby
really,
Germain just got hooked around. Probably need to throw that caution flag, as he was hooked going down the front straight away. There it is. Caution has come out. And I don't know that we're going to be able to rewind that one or not there, folks, because for some reason iRacing really didn't catch it. But he was, he got hooked there coming out of the corner.
I'm not sure. Did you come up on me or did I come down on you?
Oh, sounds like it's a little bit between Doug Ellingson and Bobby Germain there. Working our first caution here tonight on lap number 12 of 70. Brandon Barron continues to lead the field here tonight. And yeah, Jimmy, I'm kind of with you on that. Last week when Brandon had to serve his into the his EOL penalty, he really didn't work his way up through the field. He kind of hung out back there.
Right.
So you kind of thought a little bit, where is the strength of his car? But man, you put him out front, I guess that's where he's going to stay.
Yeah. Yeah, because he definitely took off on that start. Now, we will get to see this time around. Cameron Mason will be on that outside, and we'll see if just that outside is better on the restarts, and maybe we'll see Cameron get out front on this next restart. But yeah, but now within 12 laps, Tanner Bethea has already making his presence into the top 3, so he's going to have something to say about that too.
Yeah, Tanner's very, very strong, working his way up through the field here. We'll have to see how it continues to work as we have now got these guys back together. We're going to see a restart. I am like you. I'm interested to see what Cameron can do on the outside this time around, assuming the leader, stays down on the inside here. And then I'm also interested now that Tanner's moved his way up front. Does he have anything for the 86 and or really the 28 here tonight? Let's do this right there. Yeah.
Got requests for EOLs here. I got to take care of that. So.
Yeah.
All right.
Jamie pulled a little double duty here tonight again. Jake Ellingson's out. We've already kind of, I won't say we discussed it at length. I'm sure it'll come up a few different times, but Jake Ellingson healing this evening from a procedure. So good Jamie up here, not only helping me out in the broadcast booth, but going to be doing some race control as well tonight. As they are lined up 2 by 2, lights are out on the pace car. Oh, and Cameron was asleep at the wheel there.
Yeah.
Is now it looks like Tanner Bethea is going to clear him as well. Just a tough restart there for the number 86 machine, but he does fall back in line in 3rd position right now. So now we're really going to see if Tanner's got anything for that 28 machine, as we are coming up on lap number 15 of our 70 scheduled here tonight. Somebody also needs to let Brandon know that he's got like double numbers. I think he loaded his.
Yeah, he sure does.
His custom numbers over the iRacing stamped and trading paint.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, need to get that fixed, Brandon.
Maybe that's why, week 1, he won the race, didn't hang around for an interview, didn't even do a burnout or anything. Maybe that's the whole thing. Maybe he's like, man, my numbers are all jacked up and I don't want to have to answer anything. Maybe that's what it was, man.
Very, very Well, it could be.
He's like, I can't get this figured out. They're all jacked up. Pat and Jamie are a bunch of buttheads, and they're just gonna make fun of me. So I'm just gonna bounce. Tanner Bethea is really hanging tough with him and putting a lot of pressure on him. And you're seeing the 28, what I would say, make some mistakes here. He's got some pressure on him now, and he's really swinging it wide coming off these corners, not really getting it down to the bottom. And Tanner has really been able to keep his line. That time around, Brandon got that car down to the bottom and was able to keep ahead there. But he's got to keep on his line. I think if he can run his race, it's going to be tough to pass.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to pass. But, you know, we've seen this play out once already this season. Week 1, Brandon Barron was leading. Tanner Bethea passed him, got the lead away from him, and then used up his tires, and Brandon was able to pass him back late in the race and get the win. So we'll see if maybe is this just a trend for Brandon that he's just really good at saving his tires and he's not really sweating what Tanner's doing right now. If Tanner takes the lead, you don't really care. We'll have to see how this goes, and maybe Tanner learned his lesson from week 1 and is going to take better care of his stuff this time around and try to get Brandon late.
Yeah, very true. We'll have to see. Yeah, because you know, I had forgotten that's exactly how race 1 kind of played itself out, with Brandon just doing a lot better when it came to managing those tires. And these two guys right here have been the class of the field for this series thus far. I mean, 2 races into the season, each one of them has won one of those, and you come to race number 3, and guess who's running 1-2? It's Brandon Barron and Tanner Bethea. So showing a lot of strength here tonight, but let's kind of go back through the field here a little bit. We've talked about our top 2 quite a lot. There's Cameron Mason there running back in that, ooh, gosh, we caught him at the wrong time as he slaps the wall there. Running back in that 3rd position, but he finds himself a good ways back right now. He's about 3 seconds back off of the leaders. Matt Knight's running in the 4th position, doing an outstanding job of staying exactly where he needs to be off the podium. There's only so many times I can, answer those questions. But Matt Knight's also having a great race here tonight, running in that 4th position. Good to see that 64 machine out there. Bobby Germain has moved himself up to the 5th position. Definitely got some damage to that car. Nose is a little wrinkled up and everything like that, but I think all that damage came from when him and Doug Ellingson tangled up there. And then Doug Ellingson in the number 58 machine, running back in the 6th position right now. Still having himself a pretty good night. Got into that early accident, but running pretty strong.
Yeah, it looks like Doug's just overdriving the entry a little bit. Not really able to get the car down to the bottom where it needs to be.
Yeah, kind of mid-sentence, I was watching him go through that corner, and I just kind of paused in my own brain. I'm like, ooh, and then he overdrove the exit there and slapped the corner. Really, a lot of times with this, and what you're kind of seeing here a little bit is I think he's having trouble really just picking a line and sticking to it.
Right.
And short tracks, believe it or not, become very rhythm. You have to get yourself into a rhythm. You got to hit your lines and your marks, and you just kind of get into a nice little rhythm. But if you're not hitting the corners the same way every time, you never get into that rhythm. And so you really got to focus on that. And like you said, corner entry is key. Corner entry is what's going to tear your tires up. I mean, if you're just barreling in there, really what you're using is the tires to slow down the car. All that tire scrub and everything will eventually catch up to you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a conversation I had with Cameron Mason just the other day. He sent me his lap times. They look, as far as speed goes, the speed was there. There's definitely no issue with the speed, but when I looked at the lap times, what I saw was a bunch of what I'll call yo-yoing.
Yep.
He would run fast lap, couple fast laps, and then he would be off by a half a second,
Mhm.
and then he'd get back down, and then he'd be off again and stuff. And like I explained to him, I talked to him about this before. It's like you've really got to work on not worrying about putting those burners down.
Mhm.
Let's work on getting, well, I'm running the same lap after lap after lap. And the only difference we're seeing is that the lap is gradually getting slower, as inevitably is going to happen with just about every car in iRacing.
Right.
They're going to get slower as the run goes on. So you should see a linear decrease in that speed, not I'm running 14.9, 14.9, 15.3, 14.9, 15.2, 14.9, like
Right,
that, right?
right.
So that's all back to that rhythm you were talking about. I mean, when you find that, man, it makes these tracks so easy. It really does. Then all you got to really deal with the other cars on the track at that point, right? Because when you get that rhythm, it's just you just doing it lap after lap after lap, and
Yeah, and that's incredibly important. As we're watching Cameron Mason right now go around the track, he has fallen back to 4th position, losing a lot of time to the leaders here. He's now 8.7 seconds back, and I really think, like you're talking about, I think he's kind of used his equipment up here a little bit, searching some different lines, and that's one of the toughest things to do for a young driver, is just to have some patience.
right.
You want to go out there, you want to lay those burners down, you want to be fast, you want to stay with the fast guys or whatever the case may be. But I can't count the number of races where I've and it's always funny to me listening to you in race comms, because you'd be like, go ahead, man, go burn your tires up, I'll see you here in a few laps. And I've even fallen victim to that, and I'll watch you kind of drop to the back, and I'm like, that means I'm burning my stuff up, and I'm going to see him very shortly. And that patience is very, very key, and I think that's a tough thing for young drivers to learn. Is to be a little patient. Don't worry about those lap times. Worry about how your car is reacting. Worry about how it's sounding as it's entering and exiting the corners. And the caution has come out, and Doug Ellingson has crashed. So we'll take a look at that right now. But yeah, a little patience, a little focus goes a long ways. And I'm sure this is music to a few people's ears here, as those tires are probably screaming as we are working lap number 46 of 70. But we'll see what happened to Doug here.
Yeah, so yeah, for sure. If I'm not Brandon Barron, I'm coming to get tires.
Oh yeah.
Even if I'm Tanner Bethea, I'm coming to get tires, because there's just not enough cars on the track to
Well,
you're not going to be that far back no matter what you do. I mean, Tanner already showed he could work his way through the field within 12 laps. So yeah, I mean, this could be a good opportunity for some guys.
yeah, and as we're watching the race rewind here, it looks like when Brandon Barron's coming around to lap Doug Ellingson, I'm not quite sure how these two guys got together here, but it didn't look good, I can tell you that, Jamie.
Yeah.
So we'll see the 28 come underneath Doug, and he's just kind of sliding up the track and gets into him a little bit. Definitely looked like a little bit of net code as well, but that contact was going to happen one way or another. Spins the 58 around and brings out the caution here tonight.
I see Tanner Bethea did come get tires.
Oh,
Is he the only one?
there's no way. No way people are staying out. I mean, the lap times have dropped off pretty significantly there.
Oh, well, now I see Brandon Barron come down. So, wow, Brandon Barron just turning the lead over to Tanner, or maybe not the lead, because I'm not sure everybody's come down, but Brandon just put himself behind the 11.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I don't know if they didn't see when pit lane was open the first time around, or what the case is, because we do have and there goes the pace car in. What in the heck just happened there? None of the cars were caught up, and all of a sudden it went to green flag without even a double file.
Oh.
I'm not sure what that was, but I'd throw the caution and stack it back up if you could, sir.
All right.
Because that was extremely strange. They weren't even double file. Nobody was really caught up. I'm not sure
Yeah, I didn't even realize the lights were out on
Yeah.
the pace car to know that they were.
That was one of the stranger things I've seen on iRacing in a while.
I just tracked Brandon Barron and Matt Knight's a lap down. I don't even think giving them waiver rounds will help, will it? Because caution laps don't count.
Can wave them around now. That is a strange bunch of events here that has kind of transpired during that caution. And I'm not sure if it's because guys came down pit road, didn't come down pit road.
Guys came down pit road when the lap after they should have come down pit road, right? Because Tanner Bethea had gone in and got tires. He was on pit road by himself. Well, him and Doug Ellingson were on pit road together. But after he got tires and left, then Brandon Barron and a couple guys came down the next lap. Well,
okay.
At that point, this track's too small. Pace cars already going around here. So the one to go probably came out while they were still getting service.
Ah, that makes sense to me. Okay. Alrighty then.
And now honestly, Doug Ellingson, who brought out the caution. I'm not counting this one I just threw.
Right.
He's going to end up smelling like a rose here because he's in second place and he's one of only 3 cars on the lead lap.
Weird. Very weird.
I just don't. I mean, I feel really bad for Matt Knights and Brandon Barron. I don't think I can fix this.
I think you could still give waiver rounds, but they have to extend this caution out a little bit and try to get them waved around.
Wow, let's see. How do I do that?
That's a right click and just, you have to extend the caution, of course.
Well, it's too. Pace car's already off.
Yep. And green flag is out. And Doug Ellingson does not get a good restart there on the outside.
No, he doesn't.
Cameron Mason takes the lead here with Tanner Bethea right behind him.
And Brandon Barron has been kicked out due to packet loss anyways, so...
Oh, what a bummer, man. We saw that last night in the Gen 4 series with Christopher Morris, who was running up front all night long. Actually was leading the race, and then all of a sudden he had a computer issue and was gone. So, tough break for Brandon Barron here. Cameron Mason looking pretty... Boy, you can definitely tell the 11 car is faster than him right now, and he's just trying to find a way to get around him. 11 gets the nose underneath Cameron right now. I thought there for a second they were going to make contact. Had to hold my breath. Whew, is the 64 of Matt Knights was slow right there for some reason as the 2 leaders are battling this out. As they bang doors a little bit. Oh, Cameron Mason off the wall. Collects Tanner Bethea. They bounce off the wall and keep going. That's what I'm talking about.
More track racing.
Both of them slam into each other and just keep the party moving. Love it. So Tanner Bethea now out to the lead. Cameron Mason falls back to second place. Doug Ellingson in third. And then we got 2 cars that are multiple laps down. So with only 17 laps left here to go, Jamie, we might be interviewing Doug Ellingson tonight.
That sure sounds like it.
Oh, Tanner Bethea spins out.
Oh, my
Don't know
goodness.
what happened there, but we'll go back and take a look.
Man, I tell you what, I never would have imagined with 6 cars in the field or whatever it is. 6 cars, there'd be this much excitement.
Yeah, he just loses it coming off of 2, spins that car around, and brings out our next caution here. Wow. Well, that'll move Cameron Mason back to the lead of this race. That'll move Doug Ellingson up into the second position.
All right.
That'll drop Tanner back to third. Then hopefully we can get a couple of these guys waved around and caught up here.
I'm going to give it a try here.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Looks like Bobby Jermaine just took off. Matt Knights just took off. So hopefully we can get these guys caught up and back on the lead lap here and get some good racing. Good racing in here. We're going to have to really see, though, how that 86 car is going to handle. He's got a lot of damage to the left front there. You can definitely see it's pushed in. That tire is definitely sticking out a lot more than it normally should be. Doug Ellingson up to the second position here. Tanner Bethea back there running in third. There's old Bobby Jermaine. Talking about him a little bit during the pre-race and what he kind of did with the Goat Locker Racing on his windshield banner and on the rear of that car. He kind of changed up the colors a little bit. I dig it. I dig it for sure. I don't know that Bobby should have gotten a second wave around, as he's now slowing down, I think, to let the pace car by. That should put...
Well, he was still showing the lap down.
Yeah, they're getting sorted out right now. I think he knows where he needs to be.
Okay.
That should put Matt back on the lead lap as well. So all 5 cars, you heard it here, folks, all 5, count them on one hand, cars back on the lead lap. Due to the expertise of Jamie Barkis doing race control. Looks like the lights are out on the pace car. It's probably single file because of subsequent. I think he has that set up in the rules. But these guys are stacking back up. We're going back racing. There goes Cameron Mason. Takes off. Looks like Doug Ellingson gets another slow restart there. Falls back to third. Here comes Tanner Bethea in that number 11 machine. Once again, trying to take the fight to the 86. Oh, my goodness.
Now, I am still showing Matt Knights a lap down. And now Bobby Jermaine's showing the lap down.
Yeah, I'm a little... Yeah, we'll get it cleaned up. We both know they need one more lap, and 14 laps left here to go tonight. I think it's 14. I mathed that right. 13 laps left here to go tonight. As Cameron Mason is doing everything he can to stay in front of that 11 of Tanner Bethea. Man, it's been some close racing up front here as we see. Oh my goodness! Both of them dirt tracking it coming off the corner.
Oh, you open that inside. Is Tanner? Whoop.
Yeah, Tanner's going to try to get the nose down there going into 3. He does, pulls up alongside of him. They will maybe not touch.
Wow.
Woo! Oh, this time he slides up and gets into the door. But Cameron keeps to the outside of him.
Wow.
Keep the fight up.
Good battle.
Again, they touch going down the front stretch and down into turn 1. The 11 this time. Gasses it up, and Cameron Mason comes right back on the rear of that car. Oh, my goodness. Oh, these guys are just slinking. Oh! 86 gets into the back of the 11 there. Says, hello, I'm not going anywhere. Oh, I love it. Love to see it. Little fight out of the kid.
Yeah, very good racing. I mean, look, that was about as clean as it gets for short track racing, so...
Cameron again gets into the back of him. This time spins him all the way around. Caution's going to come out as Matt Knight kind of gets into the side of the 11 as well. Oh, I mean, that's just some good hard racing there. You're coming down less than 10 laps to go, giving it everything that you got. But believe it or not, folks, this is not the Twilight Zone. We are not anywhere else, nor have you done any psychological drugs. That is Doug Ellingson leading the race right now, folks.
Wait, was there no caution?
There was no caution. No caution came out there, which I find a little bit odd as those 2 cars got together.
I mean,
I thought there was a caution that came out.
I did too.
And it did not, folks. And that right now puts Doug Ellingson with a 9.1 second lead over the field with 5 laps left here to go tonight.
All right, folks.
It is chaos.
Trying to watch a race to do this broadcast and then doing this whole race control thing is almost impossible. That I totally thought the caution was out I did not realize that they were still racing.
I didn't either, man. I would have said something to you. I thought
Yeah.
for sure as I was watching that the caution had come out, but it did not. And we are now down to the last couple laps here. Again, Doug Ellingson with a 9-second lead. I mean, unless he just slams the wall or whatever. I mean, he's he's going to walk away with this one. who knew with only 6 cars you could have
Wow.
this much chaos happen? But it definitely has. But hey, Doug Ellingson continues to lead the field here. Look, Bobby Jermaine fighting like hell to get his lap back, but the white flag is out, folks, and this is gonna be the end of it. Oh, Bobby Jermaine gets into the back of Doug Ellingson. Doug Ellingson noses it into the wall. He's trying to get that car righted. Bobby Jermaine just parks it on the track.
Oh,
Oh, here comes Cameron Mason to the outside. Cameron Mason's gonna steal it, folks. What did we just watch?
oh no.
Oh, I have no words.
No.
Oh, Cameron Mason with the Hail Mary wins it here tonight at Hickory Motor Speedway on a slobber knocker.
Oh my. What did we just witness?
I don't know, man. I'm not sure. I don't know what happened this race. This was insanity. From a caution not coming out to Doug Ellingson having a 9-second lead to the lap car of Bobby Jermaine getting into the rear end of him on the white flag, and then for Cameron Mason to come back from 9 seconds back. Oh, that's why you never give up, folks. You never know what's going to happen. Oh, I don't know what happened there.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, take him any way you can get him, though, kid. I mean, I feel terrible for Doug Ellingson. Well,
Well,
I feel
okay. I
terrible.
feel bad for Tanner
Yeah.
because the caution should have come out
Yeah.
when he got turned by Cameron Mason.
Yep.
I fell asleep on that. And I sure wasn't going to throw one there. I mean, because that wouldn't have been right to throw one now. But again, what is going on with iRacing that we got cars turned sideways on the track and the yellow flag's not coming out? I mean, that's twice.
Yeah, I'm not.
Congrats to Cameron Mason for
Yeah.
keeping his foot in it. He got around the because there was a little bit of a mess there with Doug trying to get going again, and I know Doug was doing everything he could to try to get that car to the finish line.
Let's see here if we can bring that replay back up here a
Wow.
little bit as we're waiting for a couple people come in the broadcast booth here. But here's a good picture of it because you could see Doug Ellingson there right up front. I think he's already got the car righted and everything like that. And you see Cameron Mason probably with his eyes bugging out of his head like, holy cow, I've got a shot at this. And we'll watch it from his. Is Bobby Jermaine's super slow. Cameron Mason just Hail Marys it on the outside. It is like, I cannot believe what just happened. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Unbelievable. Folks, I mean, it's just unbelievable.
Wow.
I mean, hey, again, congratulations to our winner, Cameron Mason. What was just the craziest bunch of events I've seen at the end of a race in a very long time. My goodness. All righty. Well, we got a couple people up here.
Why is Doug not in this waiting room?
I don't know. We'll find him or whatever. I'm sure he's well, I'm sure he's a little agitated. He's probably out back right now. Oh, I see him in there now. He's probably out back in the haulers. Him and Bobby Jermaine are throwing blows.
Well, before we bring anybody up, I gotta say, Doug got on there. Bobby was very apologetic. Felt terrible for it, and Doug said, "Well, it's short track racing." So they handled it with as much class as they possibly could have. I know if I was Doug, I probably would not have been as gracious. So, you know,
No.
hats off to both of them. Bobby for owning up and taking responsibility, and Doug for not completely just
Right.
trying to kill him. So, all right, let's go. Let's get Tanner up here.
All right, let's get Tanner up here. Oh my goodness. Hey, Tanner, it's Pat and Jamie up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Wow. So that was an interesting race, to say the least, and a very interesting finish to the end of it. But I know you're up front a lot of tonight, battling with Brandon for a lot of tonight as well. You had a very strong car here, so kind of walk us through your night here tonight and how that car felt, and really how you were able to break it home in third position.
Yeah, it was a very rough race. A very depressing race. No, the car was pretty good though. It was very loose off. I was spun out one time. It's like if you get too far on that apron, it's just like icicles coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, going in is like really, really grippy. You want the car to get sideways, but coming out, it's like you're like you wish it was as tight as it was going in. But I really had no clue going into this race. I've only ran here a couple times. I didn't have much practice. Uh, didn't really have much time to practice over the weekend or the week. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Well, Tanner, I owe you an apology, man. Cameron got you spun around, and I had no idea that iRacing had not thrown a caution there. And by the time both me and Pat realized it was way too late. I should have thrown the caution there. You should have had an opportunity to get your car gathered back up. So that was my fault, man. And I apologize for that. It's kind of tough with Jake being out. It's kind of tough to do both this broadcasting and do race control. So should have been quicker on that. So
Oh man, that's all
apologies
good.
to you.
It's just part of racing, hard racing.
Yeah, I know, but it's not the way it should have worked. And just by the time, like I said, by the time I realized that it was too late to throw the caution at that point. But yeah, man.
I was kind of glad for Doug there. I was laughing in my car. I was giggling. I was like, man, I want him to get it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you there. I mean, we don't typically cheer too much up here, but yeah, I was hoping. I thought Doug was gonna pull win out here. And I know Bobby Jermaine is upset that he got into him, and he's already sent his apologies to him and stuff. Definitely was not anything intentional there. So, but definitely made it for a dramatic finish here at the end. But
Yeah.
but man, Tanner, again, man, you were fast. I mean, not that this was a big field, but still, you didn't waste any time working your way up. And you were battling for the lead and taking the lead over again tonight. So you're definitely the one to beat out here. Anybody you'd like to thank? Any shout outs, sponsors?
I'd like to thank my dad and mom and TP Racing and TP Racing Designs for sending me this car, and that's about it.
Well, man, that's a sharp-looking car, and shout out to mom and dad as well, man. You've been strong each and every week, man. So it's fun to interview you. It's fun to talk with you, man. Really fun to watch you on the track, and can't wait to see you next week, brother.
All right, I'll see you.
Take care. Oh, he goofed me up. He moved on his own. Don't do that. Let me move you. Then I get all out of whack, and things don't work out for me. All right. Yeah, I mean, I think we're all kind of the same there. I mean, we were kind of pulling for Doug Ellingson to kind of pull that one out there. But let's go ahead and grab Doug and have a chat with him. What do you say, Jamie?
Yeah, let's do it.
Hey, Doug, it's Pat and Jamie up at the booth. Got a copy?
I got you, pal.
Well, holy smokes, man. I mean, you almost pulled one out there at the end. Really, you ran a pretty good, clean race all night long and kind of found yourself in the right. Smokes, man. I mean, you almost pulled one out there at the end. I can hear myself echoing in the background. It's kind of weird.
Like, you don't call on the radio show as much, do you, Doug?
No.
Hey, turn it down in the back. Turn it down in the back.
Mama's got it up on the TV
yeah,
here.
That's all good. But I mean, you kind of found yourself at the right place at the right time a couple different times, and almost brought home here the win tonight. But just kind of take me through your race here tonight, and how that car was feeling, and really how you got your first podium of the season.
Yeah, well, I kind of got into it. Who did I get into at the beginning of the race here? Yeah, anyway, I felt it was kind of my situation, so I took the EOL and I just kind of hung around out and back, and the yellow came through. I hit the pits. I somehow came out in second place. Um, it just kind of hung out, tried to stay there. All of a sudden, the yellow didn't come out for the two-car spin out. Why, I don't know. The yellow didn't come out. I just kind of sat there and said, okay, well, got first place. Let's go for it. The
Doug,
track,
man, congratulations on getting on the podium. I know you had that win in the bag. So tell us what's going through your mind. You take the white flag with a 9-second lead, and you end up coming home second, by 0.3 of a second. So take us through that final lap and what was going through your mind.
well, I kind of seen him coming in the mirror, and I knew I was going to get it. So I just kind of absorbed the hit and, chalked it up to it. Yeah, that's short track racing. I mean, he was gracious enough to say, Doug, I'm sorry. Go ahead, get in front of me. Let's go. I did. So had kudos to him for not taking the position and let me sit there.
Oh, is it my turn? It's my turn.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was your turn. It's my turn.
It's just weird silence, man.
Yeah, it was. It was like some awkward silence. I'm like watching a replay. Nothing's happening. Quality broadcasting here by GLR Racing. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. But Doug, I know you've been working hard on your craft all year long, all years long. I mean, seasons before and all that stuff. You've had some good runs in a lot of the series here. So congratulations on a second place finish here tonight. I think that's outstanding. Get you up on the podium and those types of things. As you look forward to the rest of the season, what are some of the tracks that you kind of got notched where you can get this number 58 back on the podium?
Definitely looking at the Milwaukee Mile.
Oh, that's my jam right there.
Love the track. Yeah, it's fun.
It's one of those flat tracks, Jamie. It's where real
Yeah.
race car drivers know how to race.
I guess. I can't stand it.
We don't need no silly banking. We know how to actually drive a car.
No.
Oh, sorry. My bad. Hey, Jamie, it's your turn now.
All right, Doug. Again, man, congrats on a great finish tonight. I know you're disappointed that it wasn't more. We're all disappointed for you. But anybody you'd like to thank, shout out, sponsors?
Well, I mean, definitely Mom Ellingson for sticking in here with me all this time. And, Jake trying to tell me how to get around a track, but, it's like a son listening to his father. I don't listen to my son either, so. Oh,
I wouldn't
Yeah.
listen to Jake either.
No.
well, he knows how to get around a track, that's for sure. But I mean, I coached him in football for 13 years, and he was one of the best linebackers to come out of the league. So, yeah, now it's his turn to coach me a little bit. I guess I got to listen to him.
Well, Doug. One, yeah, I would say so. Jake's been doing pretty dang well. Last year's next gen champion and won quite a few races and off to a strong start this season as well. So, but again, congratulations, man! Congratulations on the second place finish. Big shout out to Mama Ellingson and the whole Ellingson family. We wish Jake a speedy recovery from that horrible accident and hope to see him back out on track here real soon.
He was just trying to free the nipple.
I get it, man. I definitely get it. All right, Doug. Take care, brother.
All right, thanks, guys.
It's gonna stick around, Jamie. It's gonna stick around. At least I hope it does. All right, let's go back to this. Oh, I mean, we might as well bring up the a little replay here of him making the pass for the lead as we talk to Mr. Cameron Mason. I'm trying to get fancy, Jamie. Hey, Cameron, it's Pat and Jamie up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
I got you guys.
Well, holy smokes, man. Go from
Uh-oh.
leading some laps, being up front, kind of get tangled up with the 11 there on the closing laps. You find yourself 9 seconds back, and then the number 58 car has some trouble. And I'm sure your eyes got wide at that point in time as we saw you Hail Mary at around 3 and 4 to bring home the win. So, one, congratulations on the win here tonight. I know you've been working very hard at your craft and learning how to race these cars and things like that. But congratulations on the win. But just kind of take us through your night and how you were able to put that 86 in victory circle here.
Tonight started off pretty well. I qualified second, but Tanner had to go to the back because he won last week. Not looking forward for my week in the back next week. About
Well, don't win races then, man. I mean, it's pretty simple.
about lap 30, 35, I bounced off the wall, and I'm like, all right, those guys are gone. Let's just ride this out. If a caution comes, I'm going to pit and get tires. Caution came out. I was the first one to pit. And then when we went back green, nobody was even up near the pace car. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to take this opportunity. Not my fault they can't read one to go and they pit. But then a caution got thrown because I think somebody figured, maybe we should do a restart. So I got in Tanner coming out of 4 once, and I backed off a little bit. My fault. I got loose coming out. Then in 1 and 2, if I touched him, I barely touched him. Like, I think he could probably fit a piece of paper in there. Like, I thought a caution was going to come out. I was coasting for 3 to 4 laps before I realized we're still green. I'm waiting for the pace car, and I'm not seeing one. So, but yeah, last lap, I'm like, okay, I'll get second. Then all of a sudden on the right, I just see a crash happen, and the time, time to the next spot, just dropping. I'm like, oh wait, Doug's in that wreck. He's in first. I hate to see it, and I hate how I won because it definitely was not a clean race. But a win's a win, so.
Yeah, exactly, Cameron, man. A win's a win, and you pulled this one out tonight. You kind of survived the melee that was Hickory. So congratulations, man. That's your first win here at Goat Locker Racing, and we're definitely glad to see you pull it off. So how was the car handled tonight? What were you dealing with out on the track?
To begin the night, I thought, maybe ease it in there. Don't start a push or anything. Then towards the end, I'm like, okay, well, those guys got a lead on me. I need to try and make up some time. So I was kind of driving it in there too deep, and that's why I kind of think I got in the Tanner and going into one. But like I said, if I did get into him, oh man, it was really close. So started pushing towards the end.
Yeah, we talked a lot throughout the broadcast about finding a rhythm at these short tracks and things like that. As you kind of searched around a little bit, we saw you run a couple different lines, whether it was on purpose or whether the car just pushed or things along those lines. Where was your car the most comfortable here tonight?
To be honest with you, it was probably just above the apron. And then there's a bump in 1 and 2. As soon as you hit that bump is when you start on the throttle. And then I was more comfortable about a half car length off the wall. So.
Right on, Cameron. Again, man, congratulations. Your first win. That caution not coming out when you and Tanner got tangled up there. That was my fault. Well, it's iRacing's fault. It's my fault for not catching it because I thought a caution had come out. Just like you said you were coasting. I thought you guys were under caution. I didn't realize until it was way too late that no, never came out, and everybody else was still racing. So, my bad for that. It's kind of hard to do both race control and this. So, but it worked out. You still pulled out the win, so great job. Anybody you'd like to thank? Any shout outs, sponsors?
I got a couple sponsors and a couple shout outs. I got RCF Fabrication and Powder Coating, and then Mason Fence. And then I want to shout out Jamie. And I also want to shout out Brandon Evans for his help as well.
Oh wow, you got some powerhouses in your
yeah.
corner. Nice. I wish I could get some of that coaching. Jeez. But no, congratulations on the win here tonight. I've had a lot of coaching from Jamie over the years. A lot of it I didn't want, but I got it anyway. But congratulations on the win here tonight, man. You take them any way you can get them. They're hard fought, and they're a culmination of a lot of different things. So enjoy it, man. Get out there and celebrate, and we will see you back on track next week.
All right, thank you guys.
Yeah, man. Well, Jamie, yeah, I mean, I guess it was chaotic. I guess there was some craziness that happened there. But it's good to see Cameron Mason get the win here tonight. I can't complain about that at all.
Yeah, no, that was good. Yeah, so that's what is this, week 3?
It is.
Yeah, week 3, 3 different winners. So
Yeah.
Cameron can make his trip to the back next week.
Yep.
Now, unfortunately for Cameron, next week will probably be the week that everybody shows up and it'll really be a penalty.
Oh.
You know, so yeah, we'll see. He's gonna have to work his way through the field next week, but you know, both Tanner and Brandon Barron will be both ready to go and be able to qualify, and so we'll see if anybody else can knock them off the front row and see how that works out.
Yeah, so we take a look at the schedule coming up here. Next week, we're at Lanier for another 70 laps, and then we'll hit the short track of USA Speedway for 60 laps before we take that first break here in the season. And again, I mean, a lot of these guys are probably targeting certain tracks and things like that. Yeah, I can't wait till the Milwaukee Mile. It's one of my favorite tracks. But next week at Lanier, and hopefully we'll have a lot more guys come out next week. Hopefully we'll have Jake Ellingson back up in the doing race control so we can catch all these things. But again, a fun race. Who would have thunk we'd had that much action and chaos and all that stuff with just 6 guys out there? But it made for a lot of fun and made for one of the most interesting and exciting finishes I think I've ever seen. I've seen some close, where it's just like nose to nose coming to the line, but I've never seen a guy come from 9 seconds back to Hail Mary it through 3. Almost Ross Chastain it,
Yeah.
to win the sucker because a lap car, gets into the back of the leader. That was wild, my friends. But thanks to everybody that tuned in. Thanks to our great sponsors, Veterans for Life Foundation, Jam Printing and Promotions, and of course Cruising Classics there out of Columbus, Ohio. We do appreciate everything that everybody does for us. Be sure to check us out on Twitch, YouTube, and stop by the Facebook page. Say hi. Just drop a note that just says hi. We'll respond to it. We'll give it a thumbs up, all that stuff. TikTok's been a little bit lackluster here recently, but we'll get back on that in case anybody really misses seeing either of us on TikTok, which I highly doubt that. But again, give us a like and a follow and all those different types of things. And then, we will be in the next gen cars tomorrow at Nashville Super Speedway. And then we'll be at the short track at Richmond in the trucks on Thursday. So stay tuned in, and we appreciate everybody that comes out and tunes in with and watches the race with it. We'll see you here shortly. All right.